What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have an Icarus Week 224 update. This week we get the Forest Wolf Pups, like this one right here. We're also getting some oil nodes in all the outposts, some optimizations on fur, and an Icarus soundtrack, the OST for Icarus. We're also getting a preview of what's coming next week, which is carts for bulls and limestone deep ore veins. Let's get into it, shall we? Icarus Week 224 brings the Forest Wolf Husbandry. We got some oil and outposts as well, and workshop item returns quality of life. So they added a brand new juvenile creature, the wolf pup, which can be tamed exclusively from breeding forest wolves. So you gotta breed forest wolves to get wolf pups. They also added Earl nodes to outposts and performed some animal fur optimizations, as well as some workshop stuff and things. And they have a new official soundtrack and a quick preview of what's coming next, which is carts of bulls, or carts on bulls, I guess, technically, and limestone deep ore veins. Got some notable improvements this week. They added oil geysers to all outposts. Both raptors now share a talent tree to prevent loss of progress to existing raptors. Implemented multiple fixes for the sandworm queen fight. That's pretty cool. Fixed dragonfly trophy mesh. Added skeletal mesh for the quick tamer saddle for the bull. Beehive fixed the queen bee not having a function fuel timer. Dune Raptor bestiary now changed from -5% deep wound resistance to +5%. Fixed chocolate cake increasing food consumption rate when it should decrease it. Applied fixes and balance adjustments to the hammerhead slug boss fight. The quick tamer saddle now has an aura effect showing which juveniles are affected. Improved dropship UI clarity for workshop items when leaving the prospect. And workshop items now without a valid owner will just be dropped in an overflow bag when returning to space via the dropship. And they fixed an issue where you get an improper pop-up saying that they were carrying non-returnable or non-owned items when returning via dropship with their own items. They fixed an issue where the default assigned envirosuit item was put in the items to drop list when trying to return via dropship. Adjusted scaling of some confirmation UI elements to make sure they remain roughly similar in size after new confirmation scale box changes. If only they could add like a UI scale. And wild sugarcane can now be correctly harvested by hand or sickle and provides sugarcane instead of fiber. So one of the things that they added was new UI changes. UI, it looks like the text is even smaller than it used to be. It seems like to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I think the UI looks like it's much smaller, or the text in the game, which I think should be the opposite. Even when you're going to go to enter your password in for like a dedicated server or something like that, it's just much smaller. I don't understand. They get so many comments in the reviews and stuff like that on Steam about UI being so small and not being able to see things in their UI. You can hardly even click on that. And wild sugarcane now gives actual sugarcane. So this is what wild sugarcane looks like. There's quite a bit of it actually right here at this little oasis here at Eden. And when you gather it, you're actually getting fiber and sugarcane. So you can actually gather sugarcane and fiber now. And this week we get the Forest Wolf Husbandry, which means basically you have a male and female wolf and use the serum on them. You'll be able to raise juvenile wolf pups. So we have a few actually growing right now that we're going to show you real quick. This is probably the most prominent thing that was added this week. And of course, the wolf pups will grow into adults with their own unique genotypes and phenotypes, giving each new generation distinct traits and characteristics. And of course, you can craft the horny serum at the ranching station for the wolf. And we're in the ranching station here. We're just going to go ahead and type in wolf. And we're going to see the wolf fertility serum. And we're going to go ahead and make one or two of those. This requires some prime meat exotics, or condensed enzymes. We got kind of both of them here, so it doesn't matter. And once you inject your male wolves, they'll go and fertilize any female wolves like this one right here. And you can see the gestation going on, and they're gonna have a baby sometime soon. So that baby is gonna come out, and we'll show you when it comes out. And after a short period of time and the gestation's done, you'll see a wolf pup. And this is what a wolf pup looks like. It's so cute, isn't it? But a wolf pup will pop out, and that wolf pup will then grow up and become a regular sized wolf. So now we have the animal husbandry for wolves. They also worked on creature fur optimization, so the Draven, Wild Boar, Drosic, Stalker, Striker, Bear, and Cub all have their GFur or their fur kind of, you know, modified or improved. And they're going to improve and optimize and work through the other creatures in future weeks. What it does is it not only reduces the load required on PCs to render the fur, but also improves the visual quality of it. So here we have a wild pig and what its fur looks like, which is not really much, to be honest. We should have a bear up here. Here he is. And we can see what their fur looks like. Looks like the fur's a lot worse, to be honest. I don't know. He won't stay still. And this week they actually added the full OST or original soundtrack for Icarus onto their YouTube. Actually click right here and go to their YouTube page and see the whole entire soundtrack that they have here, which is about 26 different videos that have their music and their soundtracks. I actually like this one. This one's pretty good. There's a lot of good classics in here. Here's some Prometheus. You've probably heard us use a lot of these in our videos and stuff. We do sometimes use the soundtrack. We've manually recorded from the game, of course. We do that with multiple games we play, actually. And lastly, next week we're getting carts for bulls and limestone deep ore veins, which is basically what they say. Sorry, I got a baby in the background saying meh. And then we have limestone deep ore veins across all maps, can found near bodies of water. And we're going to go over the changelog real quick and see if there's anything noteworthy in there. Under fix, it looks like there's a screen shake for chainsaws now when firing, increased shake when they're successfully hitting, and no more double XP. The changes they made for the hammerhead boss slug was increase their time from 10 seconds to 20 seconds for the eggs. Increase the time slug will wait until it looks to merge from 20 seconds to 45 seconds. Remove stacking from the slug's poison to prevent mass speed debuff. And remove movement speed slow from slug modifier from 55% to 45%. So they basically nerfed the fight. And now you can't sneak attack the queen, which is actually pretty good. And if the sandworm queen dies in the air, it will teleport to the ground now. They've also now added the sandworm queen trophies and mounted head and statues. So let's check that out. We have a sandworm queen vestige here. Let's see if we have a vestige that we can make or a trophy. Yeah, I just had to go back and make sure. It did say it added a Sandworm Queen trophy in the fixed head and statue. I don't know. I don't see a Sandworm Queen. Maybe we have to unlock it. So it doesn't look like we actually have the option to do the queen, even though it says we do. Maybe that was meant to be in the future content or something, which we've gone over and don't really see anything too awful exciting in there, except for maybe the fact that they are adding those deep veins and, of course, bull carts next week. So that's it for this update. And that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Subscribe and we'll get you more weekly Icarus update videos just like this one. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.